Welcome everybody to Quality Sewing and Vacuum's So Fun virtual live show today. We have some very special guests. We have Reva and Carmen.
Hello.
Hello. For today's presentation for November. Oh no, we're in October still. I'm ahead of myself.
That's tomorrow.
Well, it is October 31st, so you know, it's almost November. I don't know what happened.
I know.
What has happened in the year?
So fast. So we're so glad you're here with us today. If you are new to this, we wanted to let you know that here in the Seattle area, we have 10 stores, and you can come and join us live at our live presentations. There's food, there's fun, there's prizes.
Lots of prizes.
It is so much fun, and it's so educational too. We would love to have you join us. You can go online and you can find our many stores online. So with that, I wanted to let you know, if you are online, please leave us a message down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Please let us know if you have any questions as they are sharing the presentation today.
Hi, Deborah. Thanks for commenting.
Hello, good to see you today. We do have 2 prize drawings at the very end. And we have some very special guests that are joining us today, and Carmen is going to tell us all about that.
Yes. So, like Andrea said, we have 10 locations in Western Washington, but we just recently, on October 7th, opened up a store in Pasco, Washington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pasco.
So we are streaming this live right now at that store location. Pasco is in Tri-Cities, Washington. So if you are in anywhere in Eastern Washington, we now have a store over there, which is really exciting. And so for our viewers right now that are in Pasco, we're so excited to see you. We're excited to share this fun presentation with you. Happy Halloween from Pasco.
Hi, Gwen.
So this is super fun. So I think we should probably get started. We have a ton of fun different things here.
We have a lot of fun stuff today.
Could we explain a little bit, just in case people are new, sort of like what the So Fun program is about?
Absolutely.
And, who made all these cool things?
Oh, that's a great thing. So, well, let's start with a little bit of who we are, for those of you who don't know. Andrea is the manager of the So Fun program. I'm Reva, and I organize special events for the company, and Carmen does nothing. No, she's an owner, and she does everything. So that's who we are, but we're so excited to be here with you. So Fun is a monthly held program on a different topic every single month, and we bring it to you live, either in person or in Pasco, virtually at this time. And we have a different topic every month. And we have a team of educators that create the beautiful samples. So we had Gail Mikashonis, and we had Ann Allman. They were the team for this month, and so we have some beautiful samples all done by them. And then Carmen and Andrea and myself will show you the wonderful stuff.
Yes, beautiful samples and some really cool techniques this time that I think you're going to really love.
Right. Yes. Right. So, and everything is kind of geared around, not necessarily gift, but if you think about fall, and it's going to be Thanksgiving before we know it, and then there's another holiday that comes right after that, and so there's a lot of things that you can quickly do and create for gifts. So we have a whole variety of things that I think you're going to like.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to step over here and leave
get started.
Okay, I think we have the quilt over there.
We do. So the first thing we want to show you is this beautiful quilt. And it's very seasonal, since today is actually October 31st, which is Halloween. I think the pumpkins are just super fun to show. But this is a really gorgeous quilt. And now, Reba, can you tell us a little bit about how these applique designs are made, and a little bit more about?
Absolutely. So Anne made this quilt, and the appliques on here are from a book we'll show you in a minute. But then the quilting around it was done on the XP machine from Brother, and it's just really fun. So
the quilting was done in an embroidery hoop.
Right in a hoop.
It's so cool.
So you just put in the hoop and you push the go button, and
then it
goes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really awesome.
I love how technology.
And with that too, it doesn't matter what size your project is. You could do a king size just as easily as you do a baby quilt, which is really fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, and then this one's really fun. This is for the next holiday coming up. So this table runner was actually a quilt project in the book, but what a fun way to make a smaller item. You may have a big pattern for something or a big project, but you don't have to make it large. So the book that we're working from today, this is called Perfect Pairings, and it's by Amélie Scott. And this one has 6 different projects in it, and we're going to zoom in on this really quick. And this is a it's a 2-part project book. It has the traditional machine sewing applique and also the embroidery. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, you can still create all of these projects in the hoop, and if you or without the hoop. And if you have a embroidery machine in the back, I'll show you this part, not that part. You can go online and download both the embroidery designs and the cutting files, so you could actually cut out your shapes on the Scan and Cut if you'd want to, and have it done for you.
So Reva, I would love to talk a little bit more about applique. So traditional applique, you would trace the design, right, onto
Correct.
your fabric, and then you would cut it, and then you would fuse it,
Right.
right, and then you would manually stitch around
Correct.
it.
Well,
right?
let's stick with that idea for a minute, but we're going to go backwards a second. So what you're going to do is use a product like this. This is the Wonder Fuse, and this is from Clover. There we go. Get the glare off of it. There we are. This is it's a fusible web, and what's really cool about it is that it is really, can you see? You can see right through it. It's really fine, so it does not put extra bulk in your fabric. Have you ever used a fusible where it ends up feeling like a board because the fusible makes it so stiff? So what you do, this is paperback, so you're going to trace your pattern right onto the paper, then iron it onto the back of your fabric, then cut out the shape. And then you fuse it into place, and then you do your decorative stitching around the edge.
Yeah, and in the big quilt that we have here, you can really feel that this has a really nice hand, and that's the fusible that was used there. It's not like crunchy. The quilt still moves perfectly,
right?
Which is pretty awesome.
Which makes it still snuggly.
Not stiff.
Which
we need right now as we come into November.
Right. So that's lovely, but that's a wonderful product to use, which is the Wonder Fuse, to be able to get your fabric applique pieces to stay right where you want them to go and not have the bulk. Now let's talk about it on the embroidery side. So hooped embroidery is the same but different, and it's really nice because it's going to all stitch out perfect. I still like to use something like the Wonder Fuse, because that way you don't get a separation of your applique piece. Right? But here's how
you don't want it to shift and move.
You don't want to shift and move, no. So how this works is when you're doing a hooped embroidery, there's 3 parts that go to an embroidery design, right?
Yeah,
okay, let's get in on the thing here. Okay, so hooped embroidered applique has 3 steps traditionally. There's what's called a placement, a tack down, and then a cover. So when you hoop your base fabric, it will stitch around the one area, and that's called the placement. Then you put your fun fabric over the top of that, and it will stitch over it again. That's called a tack down. Then you cut away the extra, and it does the pretty stitching, and that is called the cover, because it covers the raw edges. So here is just the tulip. This is from the book. It's part of the tulip design. So the tulip is going to be, this is my placement line for that. Then it did a tack down, okay, and then it does the cover. So that's the finished one. But I want to show you really quick how you're going to trim this up. So I'm going to lay it flat on the table, so I think we're going to have to zoom back a little bit. There we go. Because I want to give you a really easy way for when you're trimming in the hoop. You've got the piece tacked down. What I like to do is take my scissors, and I do like a scissor that has a little bit of a curve to it. And I'm going to start trimming. And you want to get up close to the stitches, not so close that they are not so close that you're going to cut the thread, but you're going to hold it up. See how I'm lifting up the fabric kind of in the hoop? I'm putting some tension on it, and then we're just going to trim right around, and I'm going to shift my hands and just give it a little bit of a tug, and that gives you a nice clean line. So if you take a look, whoops, down a little bit there, see how nice and tight I got right there? And that's nice and tight, so that way the satin stitch will cover it up. But that's as easy as, it's so easy to do.
So much easier like this because the machine's doing all the work. And I don't know, sometimes when I'm trying to drive the machine myself, I get a little crooked or it's a little hard on some of those shapes, and it's amazing how the embroidery machine just does all the work for you.
Right, because I mean, that's a smooth curve. Yeah. Mine would be janky.
Yeah, so would mine.
Totally.
Yeah. I love these embroidery machines.
Yeah, so that's really fun. And so if you want to either try your hand at traditional applique, and this is machine stitched applique, so you could do a decorative stitch around the edge or whatever you want.
Any sewing machine for that.
Any sewing machine, or if you want to do the hooped embroidery, then you can do that as well on any one of these 6 patterns. And again, just like that Christmas tree one that is right here, instead of a whole quilt, we just did the 3 squares. This is another one of the projects from the book, which is lots of fun.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And that one's really, this one's really easy because it's got the half square triangles and then just 2 strips to make that block. So it's really, really simple. And then it has the applique leaves on it. So cute.
And there's a couple other seasonal ones in there as
yes,
well.
Yes.
Right? Like there's a 4-leaf clover, there's tulips, there's ice cream cones.
Yeah,
sorts of
it's kind of like you're going all the way through the seasons because you have summer and you have spring, you have Christmas, you have St. Patrick's Day, fall, and fall. Fall and fall. Fall and fall. Autumn and fall. Autumn and fall.
That's right. Can't wait. Yes, can't wait to get this book. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one, and it's for everybody. So then the next thing that I think we want to talk about is some other smaller gifts.
Yes,
that is really fun.
Small gifts this time.
Yeah. So Andrea, you want to show us those?
Yeah, who's gonna be my Vanna?
I can be your Vanna.
Awesome. And I'll be both these guys. Okay, do you know what season it is just about? It is just about baking season. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about pumpkins and everything pumpkin spice and baking. And these are a really fun, it's not new, but it is a really fun technique for making pot holders. This is silicone, and it's washable, and you can put it into an oven like 450 degrees. Like,
wow. Oh, yeah. I need that. I'm always burning myself.
Oh yeah, and then they get
flexible,
dirty. You can absolutely put these in your washer and dryer. So the technique behind this, you have this little cup and the little silicone cover here, and you make another little quilted. Let me pull it out here. Ta-da! Here's another quilted liner, right like that. And you actually sew the liner to the silicone mat. That's going to take me too long to shove that back in there. But you sandwich a piece of cotton, part of the little cup here, between both sides of the silicone, so you can just slide it right through, and you can sew it. You don't even need to have any specialty items to
That's amazing. And so the pattern comes with one of those silicone mitts, correct?
It comes with one inside.
Okay.
And you can get either the green one or the clear, the transparent.
I really love the transparent one where you can see the fabric on the other side. How fun is that?
Look at how they kind of, she made this coordinating set right here. So what Carmen is holding right here is the actual pattern, is the kit. It comes with one of the silicone cuffs right here and the pattern. But once you have the pattern, you have it. You don't need more. So we brought in some refills.
That's the silicone mitts.
Yeah.
So that you want to make, tons of different gifts for the holidays. Like, what a great housewarming gift, or like someone's hosting a holiday party.
Absolutely.
How fun.
Really, really cute.
Or just even a great holiday gift of any kind.
It really is. It was simple, and we all like simple.
We do, and quick.
Right out the door.
For me, like the holiday projects, I always have like big eyes. I'm like, I want to make this huge thing, but then I don't finish it. And this is something that feels like really doable, that you can sit down in an afternoon, knock a couple out.
Totally use your straps.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
Finish it. You've got that cool fabric, and you're like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
Not big enough to do anything. You can make some
super fun. So cute and youthful, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And next, oh my goodness, these are just amazing. Such a fun and cool quilt. Which way did it go?
I think it's supposed to go tall, maybe.
It's supposed to go tall. Yes,
See
but I think if we hold it the other way.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, now, so these quilts are panel quilts, and this looks like regular fabric, but it is a panel in the middle, and we'll show you a second quilt that has a really cool panel in it too. And this border, this pattern is called U-line. It has a U on both sides where you can see it, but each of these, it's a little checkerboard panels right here, and it's a lot easier than you would think. You sew a bunch of strips together, and then you cut those strips apart, and then you sew the little strips together, and voila, it comes together.
And I love using the panel in the center, because that, I mean, also just reduces your cutting, and there's so many panels that have really fun things. We're going to see one in a minute on the other panel. The other thing that I think is fun to point out, I don't know if you can see if we bring it a little lower here and show up here, so you see the quilting. But this quilt has actually been quilted with a longer quilting system, and it's pretty awesome because you can just see how perfectly the quilting has been done. And once again, the technology is just amazing.
Let's turn it to the back.
Okay.
I want you to see that this has minky. Maybe you can. I can feel it. It's so great. Carmen, one thing about our new long arms is that it's so easy to quilt with minky and make your blanket so
It is
snuggly.
so snuggly.
Yes, it's way easier than
And
you
I
think.
do love, since the minky is thick, look how that beautiful texture that the
Yes.
quilting has created.
Always. Look at that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So amazing. Okay. So why don't you take this one?
Okay.
And we'll go to our second one.
I'm gonna
Okay,
move
well,
this guy over here.
I'm going to hold this right here. Where is it so we don't get it?
See what it looks
There's
like.
our pattern. It's called U-turn.
U-turn. And then now we're going to show this other quilt, and this really shows how different, depending on the panel, really how different these quilts can be. Because look at this, totally a different style, but using this really cool Mount Rainier panel, and then that same technique for making the checkerboard borders here, and that whole U-turn design, like very fun.
Right. And Carmen, I don't know if you noticed because we were holding it up, but this one is slightly bigger than the other one. And this pattern really lends itself to being slightly tweaked because Anne needed to tweak hers just a little bit to fit the pattern because she didn't want to lose any part of this really cool pattern for her son.
Yeah, and then this one also has, I don't know if there's a way we can see that, this one has little trees, is what the quilting is. They're all little tree designs. You can see like a tree here.
Well, this has minky on
Oh,
it.
the minky, we can probably see it more on the back again. See, you can see like it's a little tree. And once again, this was all done with a long arm quilting system, which is amazing because you can set it. You can do quilts that are small, quilts that are large, and you just pick your pattern and set the area, and then it just quilts it.
That is beautiful.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yes.
And I love, Mount Rainier. How great is this? And I believe that this is a gift that Anne is going to give.
Yes, to her son.
To her son.
Her son summited Mount Rainier in 2014.
Yeah. How cool is that? So this is a larger gift if you're thinking about holiday gifts, right? This one's a little bit bigger.
It comes together because half of it is
A panel, which makes it way easier.
Makes it way easier.
Love that.
The next thing that we're going to go on to, I bet you noticed these really amazing jacket, shirt, sweater things back there. So all three of these are made from the same pattern. Anne made this one, and it's made from a thing. I just love saying the name of that. It's fluffy and kind of fuzzy, kind of feels like a poodle. The pattern calls for a hood or no hood. Anne wanted to do the hood, and it's lined. She was wondering if it might be a little too bulky, but here in the Northwest, you can never have too many layers, right? So it turned out beautiful with that hood here. It has a nice V-neck, so you can pull that right over your head. And I'm not sure if you can see down below here on this shirt, but it's not a shirt, it's a sweater. It goes a little bit longer in the back, and that's what Anne and Gail really liked about it, is that it kind of went over the booty area down below, which is nice. And We're going to move over here to Gail's that she made. Over here, you can see that Gail made hers out of this raw silk fabric. It is incredible. You'd have to just see it up close, but super beautiful. I love the way this made it super classy. It made it look like you can wear this to the office as opposed to just a hoodie, you know. She put the collar on it here, and then she put a pop of this raspberry color inside of here to give it, to really pull out the fun colors from the fabric inside. So this is the version without the hood. Here it is longer down below. And in the actual pattern, it says that you can put little buttons down the side or not, or you could add a little pocket in the front. And because she wanted it to look a little more like office worthy, she didn't put the little pouch pocket in the front of this one. And it totally changed the look. We're going to come back here to this one behind us. Let me give that to you. Oh, that's called the Antwerp pullover too. Love this gal. All of her patterns and her sizings are like spot on. They're really, really nice and wonderful to work with. The instructions are simple and easy to follow along too. The last one that I wanted to show you is more like a pullover. It had the long sleeves. Gail chose to put more like the sweatshirt material as the hood. If you kind of see this a little bit closer, it's the waffle texture fabric for the main part of the shirt, sweater, and then the hood and the front pocket here are made out of sweatshirt material, which makes it like super soft inside the little pocket there. But I don't know if you can see this beautiful stitching right here. She chose to use our brand new Applaud serger, and it really made a beautiful top stitch and really made this cream shirt pop. And down at the bottom, she added some matching buttons to go along to follow the pattern exactly. It gives a little space for the hips there, and super simple. And I'm going to turn the time over to Riva, and she's going to show you how easy and fast it is to make one of these on your overlock and serger.
Well, they're so fast and easy, but not fast and easy enough to show you how to make the shirt right now. But what I am going to show you is how the Applaud works. So let's take a look at the machine, and let's start with what the Applaud is in general. This is a cover hem machine. So you probably recognize the stitch like this as one that you would see on a garment that you have purchased. So this is the industry standard for hemming. It has a nice amount of stretch, so you can use it with knit fabrics. So this machine does that. It can do a narrow, it can do a wide, it can do a 2 or a 3 thread, just like any top of the line machine does. But what it also does is what Gail did on her hoodie, and that is to use decorative stitches, decorative threads in addition to the cover hem to create something very pretty. So for example, another example is this runner right here. Let me flip him this way. I used the thread to create the beautiful stitches here down the edge. I even used the bias binder and was able to use the decorative stitch with the bias binder. And this is just a really fun little bag that shows you all the different stitches. I have 3 thread wide, 2 thread wide. Here's a chain stitch, and the chain stitch is really cool because it's just really, really narrow. So let me show you how this works. So if you take a look at the machine, right now we have it set up with decorative thread in addition to the regular thread, and this is something that's very unique to this machine. It's the only machine that has this special mechanism. And if you can see, the decorative thread comes down through the front of the foot, and then it goes out to the side, and there's little circle loops on the side. And I'm going to start sewing really slow, but if you notice, see how they're let me even change the speed down. It goes back and forth. The little circles here pass the thread in front of the needles, so that way you can couch, which is really fabulous. Okay, so let's take that off so you can see. And then that's what we've achieved there. You can even use a lightweight yarn, but it's just really a fun way to get a nice decorative look. And if you use like a woolly nylon, then you're going to get a look that is very similar to performance wear. Like on yoga pants and things like that, you'll have that double cover hem on both sides, which is really fun. So we have the regular stitch on the back side, and then we have the decorative one on the top. So that's just really a fun way to use the Carrie, over here. Sorry, she's napping. No, not really. She's working hard looking at your questions. But this is a really great machine. So if you don't have a cover hem machine, this is one you should seriously look at because it air threads, easy to thread, very dependable, and it also does the decorative, which is fun.
And it's crazy because like I think that thread's like 8 weight or something, right?
One of them's at 8 and one's at 12, so you can mix and match.
And that's really thick thread, and it's so cool what you can do. I also love the stuff I've seen where it's like tone on tone. I mean, there's just some really cool ways that you can add some really cool texture to garments. I don't know.
Home deck.
Home deck.
Well, and with that, it's like making your own fabric. So like tone on tone, if you have a beautiful, say a black knit that you want to make a t-shirt or a sweatshirt out of, you can do the stitching.
Black. I know that's not clear here, but you know, super fun. This is such a great new machine that we have.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay.
What do we have going on here?
Okay, this is really super fun. So this is a pattern. It's called the 10 degree table runner, but I want to show you what was made out of it. This is a fun tablecloth, a placemat, and it's using these wedges, which is really, really fun to do. And then this one is using the exact same wedges, but it's how you put them together that makes them different. So if you look at this one, they're stacked, one this way, one this way. So it makes like a chimney, and that's how you get them to stitch out straight. This one has like 6 or 8 going all this way, then going this way, and then going this way, so you get this wonderful curvaceous.
Yeah, and so you can probably play with the curve depending on how many same, right?
Absolutely.
So the curve can get different.
So let's look at this for a second, and let's get out the tool. So if we take a look at our little bits and pieces here. So here we have them stacked. See, they're all going, one going one way, one going the other way, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah,
now
they're straight then.
Right, and one thing that's fun about this is that if you stack them this way, you can make wider or narrower strips of fabric, and they'll still stay straight because the angle is the same, because we're using this ruler here, which is a 10 degree ruler. And if you notice, if I cut the fabric down here, it's going to be skinny, but if I cut the fabric up here, it's chubby, right? Go ahead and flip him.
Flip him.
Look at that. Yeah. So, but the angle stays the same. So you can flip them and stack them and keep them straight for a table runner. The edge of a quilt. What about that? Would be cool for a border on a quilt.
That would be really cool for a border.
And then if you want to have them undulate like this and go back and forth, then you're going to keep it the same where you're going to cut them. So you would put, like, we've marked it here where we want the edge of the fabric, and then we cut them so they're all the same shape, the same size, right? And then they'll make the curve, that beautiful curve. Yeah, isn't that cool? I think that's really, really cool. But there's more things that you can do with it.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
So let's take a look at this. I think we want to use the flannel graph.
Okay.
So if you
take too soon.
Yep. So if you take the wedges and you create the wedges, right, then, and you top it off, then you've got a triangle. Now let's step back for a minute from this, because when you make the curve, there's always a void space in a curve when you're working with wedges. Okay, so there's going to be an area that if you're doing it as the table runner, that's okay because you bind it that way. But if you're doing a full circle, then you're either going to fill it with another circle, or if you want to do a circle and you want to use triangles, then you can fill it this way.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Okay, so but you can lay these out in a very different way. So if we take them and we, oh, he should be in the middle. We'll put him in the middle. And then we put this in the middle, right? You might have to hold that because we're going to be going around. There'll be a bunch of them. But look at all the fun things that you can do with a 10-degree wedge.
This is amazing. I mean, there's so many different variations of block patterns you could create with these.
Yeah, and if you actually sew them together, they'll actually fit nice. You know, not like what I just did there.
Super fun.
Yeah,
It reminds me of like that stack and whack, you know, sort of like spinning thing.
Oh, it does look like a kaleidoscope.
Like
It's
a
kind of what it looks like.
kaleidoscope,
Yeah.
right.
So that's a real fun thing that you can do with it. And in fact, if we keep the camera right where it is, let's look at some other ideas of what to do with this unit right here, this triangle that we've created. So you could take them and you can lay them out. So here's two of them put together, and it's so easy to cut the shape exactly right because the ruler guides you on exactly how to cut it.
That ruler is pretty great. And because the ruler has so many different sizes, you can make all different sizes of blocks.
Right. Because this is, I mean, think about, this is 22.5 inches long. So you could make, that would be huge.
Right.
I mean, that would be like a Christmas tree
I know,
skirt.
sometimes I like making everything big because then there's less cutting. But, you know.
Okay, well, I'm with you. If I'm making cookies, it's a sheet pan cookie.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying. Okay, but look at how cool these all are to go together. Now, this is all using examples of the same fabric that we showed you there, but this is really interesting here. If you take a look at this, is a beautiful pattern, right? But this triangle right here is the same type of thing that we were just working with, but depending on where you lay the colors out is how it makes a difference. Because this is purple, white, pink, white, purple. So then you have that, it makes a whole, it looks like flowers. It's really, really
so
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then we have, this is a good example because here's one big triangle, right? So you could put that together. And if you want to do something circular like that with 10 degrees, here we're going to do the math. We'll do the math. If you want to do a full circle, there's 360 degrees if you do a circle, right?
Yep.
This is 10 degrees.
Okay.
So there's just, you have to cut 36 pieces.
Oh, well, that's easy math.
Right?
I can do that
Yeah.
math.
Yeah. If you divide it by 10, it's really
it's
easy.
easy math.
Right. So then you could do something more like this with a circle, but it's still based on that
That's amazing.
triangle.
And so all you need to do all of these different variations is this pattern, right? And the ruler.
The pattern will get you the stacked and the
stacked,
curved,
right?
but the ruler has
Will
infinite
do
possibilities.
Infinite possibilities. But what I love about having the pattern with the ruler is then you can sort of start
Right.
by using the instructions that come with the pattern, and then once you know you've sort of mastered that, then you can really play with all of this.
Exactly.
And the ruler. Because I always really just, I need the step-by-step to get started, particularly with rulers. I don't know why, but rulers like throw my brain. They work so great once I figure out how to use them, but I always need the instructions first of how to cut it, how to make it easy, how to reduce the amount of cuts that I have.
Right. Now, my daddy was a woodworker. And so he always said, if you had the right tool for the job, it makes the job easier.
100%.
And so rulers, for me, just like you were saying, they make it easy. Because I don't know, I could not do the math to figure out a 10 degree wedge. This also this is from Creative Grids, and it has the grippy on the back of it. So when you set it down to cut, it's not going to slip out from underneath
nice.
you.
Yeah, they make
so that's
really
really nice.
beautiful rulers.
They do. And their rulers are specialty rulers for specialty tasks.
Specialty,
Yeah, and I love the fact that this has, you can do something small or something big, all in one ruler. You don't need multiple rulers.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options that you can make things look really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
awesome.
fun.
Lots of
Love
fun.
this.
Okay. And it's actually beautiful.
We have one more.
Yeah, let's talk about more that you can do. So we started showing you how you can put that shape together. Remember how I made a really obnoxious looking spinning one? This is a pretty spinning one. And that's all using that 10-degree ruler. And it's just how you put the triangles together that gives it such a different look.
Yeah, and this would, once again, this is what it could also be a great little holiday project because it's small. You don't have to do a giant quilt. You can always do something like this, or a table runner, or a placemat, all of those different things.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool. And I want to show you real quick I'm going to give you a quick little lesson on how to do some binding. So I don't know if you're good at binding.
It's always, it's always a challenge. I love binding tips.
Well, especially since we're going to be, I mean, this is not a square.
Right, no.
Right? So let's just,
hexagon here.
I'm going to clear this stuff off just so we have a little bit of
I can do
space
that.
here. And let's talk about two different ways of doing binding. First, we're going to start with a square, right? So, or what's not a square, it's a rectangle. And so let's talk about general doing our binding on that. So when you are working with your binding, here's my binding, and you're sewing it along the edge, right here, we're going to come here, you're going to stitch it down, and then you're going to come to the point, and we need to turn that corner, right? Okay, I know it looks like, you should see it from my, it looks okay from my eye. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you want to turn your fabric back, your binding back, after you've stitched along your edge. Now, in fact, Carmen, do we have that flannel graph thing? Let's grab that. That might be easier for you all to see on an angle. So she'll be really lickety split quick. Look at her. Oh, you should see how fast she's going. Okay. Perfect. Okay, this will help, and I'll let you maybe hold it or it has a stand, and then you can do what you need to do. Okay, so this is better. So we've got this. Can we get up there? We're slowly. Look, they're so good. They don't want you to be seasick. Okay, so we're going to stitch this along the top, right? And this is just a 2.5 inch binding. But how this goes is when we get to the corner, I'm going to squish it over a little bit here so it's in front of me. Yeah. So when you're going to go and do the next corner, right, you're going to need to turn the corner. So this is a really cool tip that Gail mentioned yesterday, and I thought this was just brilliant.
I also thought this was brilliant. I also did not know this when I heard this.
I didn't know it either. So what you do is you find your 45-degree angle off your corner, which is going to come down here, and you put your pin into that 45. You pin your binding on at 45 degrees. Okay, this is for a square corner because it's a 90 degrees, so half of 90 is 45, right? Then you fold this up, and what you're looking for is for the edge here to continue all the way straight up your cut edge of your binding. You don't want it off to the side with a chunk. You don't want it too short. It should match. And then you can flip it straight back down, and you want your top corner, this top, to match the top here. And then you start stitching, and then you have your perfect miter.
That's amazing.
Okay, but now we have something challenging because we have a hexagon. So let's talk about that for a minute. So this is exactly the same but completely different. Okay, so on here we have the hexagon, and the thing that we don't have here, let me get this pin here and this pin out here. What we don't have is a 90-degree angle. So we don't have the luxury of 45 degrees. So what you can do is find the center of your piece and come out, eyeball, or just mark the center and eyeball out to your point. So when you stitch this down, we eyeball to the point, and then we pin to the point. Now it's a hexagon, so you could actually draw, from corner to corner and find that. And then when you fold it back, you just want to make sure again that you have that straight line.
That is amazing.
Then you have the right angle.
I love it. And it's so much easier than trying to be like, well, what was my seam allowance and where do I turn it?
Right, and what's the degree of the angle?
All of that good stuff. It's so much easier.
I wish I knew that trick a long time ago, because doing uniquely shaped items, I've done them, but I have to fiddle and and I mess with it. So then when you turn this back over, what you're going to do, let me get out of it. So what you want to do is you're not going to meet up the point so it's a point like that, because you need to make sure you have seam allowance that matches the seam allowance over here. So you back it up until the edge of the fabric is touching where your seam allowance is, and you'll have a little bit of a nubbin.
That's
off
amazing.
of that. And then when you stitch it, then you have the proper amount of fabric to turn a properly mitered
Yeah.
on a
then
hexagon.
You can make a beautiful hexagon, just like the guy we have here, and all of these bound corners are all beautiful and perfect.
Right. So isn't that
is
fun?
awesome.
So that's all done using the 10 degree wedge, which
Yeah.
I think is absolutely brilliant. And I'm
Yeah,
with you.
love that ruler.
Start with the pattern so you get the hang of where to mark and what to do.
Yeah, and the step by
and
step.
do you sew the binding
All the way to the
all
end.
the way to the end? So that's a good, see, I have a camera in front of that. So sorry, Michelle, I couldn't see the whole thing. But what you do is you start with a tail about 10 inches. You end with a tail at least 10 inches with 10 inches in between. So you have like a 5 to 10 inch overlap.
Yeah.
And then you can put them together. And there's lots of different ways that you can put them
Yeah,
together.
they sort of nestle, which is great.
Yeah. So this is fun. So that's a really fun one to do.
That is.
And I think we have some other fun gift,
do.
like greetings.
We do. We have
Greetings.
some fun greeting things over here. I have a whole bunch of fun projects. These are all things that are smaller, which is sort of awesome because once again, great quick gifts. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is these really cute embroidery designs. So I have all of these cute different like embroidered cards, and these are all designs that are nice and light. What's really fun about embroidering on paper is you can customize something. You make really like a handmade gift that's really simple, right? And the trick here is that you need an embroidery design that is light enough. If you try to put a really like dense embroidery design onto paper, it will just pop right out. And your design you will have a hole where the design was. So this design collection is really cute, and it is called Share Joy by OESD. And it has a ton of different patterns in it, and they are light and airy, which is fun because they embroider quickly, which is awesome. But the other cool thing about it is that it is actually a whole little gift package. So, like, let's say example here for the sewing, there is this design that is a sew with scissors. It's a sewing theme, but then you can make a card. You could also make, let me find my little, you could also make, I dropped it, oh, there it is. I knew I have it down here. You can also make a little drink cup holder, right, that has the sewing theme. You also make one of these little pouches. They comes with patterns for the pouch. And the pouch, there's 3 different sizes. This is the big one. There's a medium one, and then there's also a small one. But there's also this cute little pouch that matches the sewing theme. And then last but not least, there is also a pattern that could work really well on towels, right? So all of these patterns, these are embroidery designs, so you can put them on anything that you want. But what I love about this collection is it's giving you the ideas. It shows you how to make the little drink holders. It shows you how to make these little projects, which is awesome. Plus, they're just great designs. And you can see we have a different. So I showed you some of the sewing embroidery, but let me show you some of the other designs, because I love designs that have plants. I just love plants. If you came into my house, you would be like, wow, Carmen's decoration style is plants, because plants are just super fun. So they have all of these plant ones that are on here as well. There's one that's like a teacher, right? What a great, cute way if you're going to give, your kiddo's teacher a gift card for the holidays or something, or just a hey, thanks for being awesome. Cute card. And there's some more plant ones back here. Plants and flowers, so super cute. But not only do we have the embroidery design, but we also have the embroidery blanks. So OESD makes gift cards that are designed perfectly for embroidering on, which is pretty awesome because these have a great weight, they work well, they have some tips. It's like a 10-pack, super reasonable and affordable. And then we also have, we have the towel here. So these are some just basic towels that we sell. They're really nice. They have a real nice feel to them. I love that they have the little fringe at the bottom, so they just feel, they have more weight than like a flower sack towel, They really have a really nice feel to them. We have these blanks as well. And then the other blank we have is, I haven't shown you these yet, is they have these cute little aprons. So we've embroidered on the apron here, and we'll see if we probably should, if I flip over here, is that better? And you can use the other. There we go. So we got one cute apron here that has the embroidery here, and then we've also added the panel, and I shouldn't say we, I did not do this, but Anne and Gail did these. So here's the cute one, and then the other cute one is this one, which is a totally different embroidery design. And then she's also done some really cute pockets that are all, quilted.
She did the 10-degree wedge to make those.
The 10-degree wedge, exactly. So super cute, fun way. And what I love about this is that both of these projects have sort of taken a couple of different themes, right? You don't have to use that ruler just for making a big quilt. You can really do it for all sorts of fun things. I mean, I love the pockets. I don't know about you, but if I have a dress, I love it if it has pockets.
Yeah, you gotta have
right?
pockets.
You gotta have pockets. Everything. So an apron with pockets is better too. So these are really cute, and these are just a blank from OESD. Let's go back to this one here so you can see it closer. And these are sort of fun, easy, once again, quick, great gift because you just get to embroider on it. You can embellish it, you can make it really cute, and it's a nice, high quality apron. So let's see here, Reva.
Let's show them how to hoop a towel.
Yes, let's show them how to hoop a towel because towels can be a little bit tricky.
Okay, and then you have the pressing cloth over
I'm
there.
gonna
Okay.
get the pressing cloth.
So when you're doing a towel, or even if you're doing the cards, it's going to be a similar thing. You want to use a sticky back tearaway stabilizer, and that's going to make it really easy because then you don't have to hoop. You don't necessarily have to hoop the apron. You don't have to hoop the towel. But what you want to do, this is our tip, is that if you're using a sticky back stabilizer, you have a paper side and then you have the stabilizer side.
I love this sort of stabilizer.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite.
It is awesome. And the paper side goes up. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to score this and remove the paper just in the hoop. You don't take it off before you hoop it. That would be a mess. But you want to score that. And if you use a pin or scissors, the challenge is that you're going to go right through and you end up cutting your stabilizer.
Yes, I think we've done that. I've also made the mistake of having it flipped the wrong way in my hoop and had the sticky on the bottom. So make sure when you put it in the hoop that you
Paper side is a
up every
paper
time.
side. Yeah, so and that will be slick. The stabilizer has a little bit rougher texture. But this is a new product, and this is called the Perfect Scoring Tool. And this is absolutely awesome because what this will do is it will actually score the paper and not cut through this. Yeah, it doesn't cut through the stabilizer. So this has like a little wedge, kind of a I don't know, it looks like a dart or something. I don't know. But I don't know what magic they did, but you're gonna I put my finger on it and I push, and you don't just lightly tap, and you don't have to dig in either, but you're just gonna do some firm pressure and just go across, and then I use this usually to pick up the corner, and then there it's exposed to the stabilizer. So you got it, and now you have it stuck, right? It's ready for that.
Better than when we used to use scissors and we would cut
right through it.
Or I use my seam ripper point, and that wouldn't work out great.
No, it doesn't work out great. So then once you get this off, what you're going to do is you're going to take your towel, and on most hoops there is a nubbin at the top and a nubbin at the bottom, right? So that's your center. So what we're going to do is Carmen so graciously has folded this in half, is we're going to place the fold nubbin to nubbin, stick it down. Then we've got one side, then we open it up and you have it nice and flat, and it's centered and it's ready to go because now it's stuck to the stabilizer.
This is a great technique that you can use anytime you have something that is hard to hoop, right? Or if you have, like you're doing a t-shirt that's stretchy and you don't want to like stretch it out because then when it goes back in, it's going to be all puckery and not good. This is just a great technique, which is part of the reason why I do love this stabilizer. I believe that, what's the Floriani name of the stabilizer? I think it's called...
The tearaway? Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Yes.
Because if you're doing like something that's sheer, that like, okay, now we're getting into a lesson.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a t-shirt and it has stretch to it, you don't want the stabilizer to have any stretch. So you would use Wet and Gone Tacky in that situation because it's a washout, right?
Yep.
But if you want to use the Perfect Stick is a tearaway, which would be good for this. Or if you're doing velvet, you don't want to put that in the hoop because you don't want to get the marks.
Yeah.
But get yourself one of these tools because it makes it so easy, and it's easy to hold on to, but you don't cut through your stabilizer and then you have to redo
Love
it all.
that tool. So easy, so much better.
So now let's talk about pressing our embroidery. Now this one's pretty easy because it's just lines, so it's really not that big of a deal. But if you're going to press your designs and you've done embroidery, like even the leaves and the pumpkin that we had, those types of things, they have a raised, does it wash out, or how do you remove it? So if you're using the Wet and Gone tacky, it washes out.
Yes.
If you're using the Perfect stick, it tears away.
Yep, and I think there's even a Perfect stick cutaway. So there's lots of different options. With stabilizer, you just want to read. There's often a wash away version and a tear away version or a cutaway version. So depending on your application, you're going to want to pick the right one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when you are pressing your, could you grab the pumpkin?
I would love to grab the pumpkin.
Grab the pumpkin. When you're pressing your embroidery, what we want to do when we finish our embroidery is we want them to be flat. You see how this is a nice and flat? It doesn't have all the puckers. Well, if you have some puckers, and you want to press your item, if you have him like this and you press over the top of him, have you ever noticed how it flattens down your beautiful raised threads and also gets them a little bit shiny, and it makes them look kind of unhappy, right? So
we
that's
don't want unhappy embroidery.
No, but that's where this press cloth from OSD comes in, because you put it down and you press, you turn it upside down and you press from the back. And with the material that this is made out of, it's kind of squishy, and so the threads themselves go down into the fibers of this, and they maintain their shape, so you can press flat from the back, and then it looks beautiful when you lift it up.
Yeah, and this is great for really whenever you're pressing any form of embroidery, and this is called the OESD press cloth. It works great. Now we do have a fun story here. So the one that comes in the package is just white, and it does sort of look like batting
A little bit.
So what Gail has done to hers, which I think is a great tip, is she has serged the edge of hers with this, blue thread. So it's clear to her that it is not batting. So you don't accidentally grab it and like throw it in your quilt when really it's a cloth.
Right. Yeah, that would be a bummer. Now, just one thing to remember, it is called a press cloth, but you do not put your project down on your ironing board and put this over the top. You put the cloth down on your ironing board and put your embroidery on the top of it. So really, really a nice, it works really, it's amazing. It's amazing how well that works.
It does. Well, I'm going to head back over here and I want to show you a couple other.
Before we go.
Do you want to do that one?
No, that's fine. But we had a question about doing the binding, and so I just wanted to get back to Michelle on hers. So she had asked if we stitched all the way, did we stitch it all together? And I thought she meant the ends of the binding. She meant the corners. So you stop a bit short. You stop your seam allowance. You stop your seam allowance distance short before. So I will say yes. I still have it. So let's.
Right here.
This is a very good thing. So we're gonna do this, guy. So what you're gonna do is while you're stitching this, you put your pin in before you've stitched it. Okay, so get your pin in, and you stop when you get to the pin. That's how you know when to stop. Then you bring it back on itself, take the pin out, and then you sew from the corner out. Okay.
And that's the same thing if on the square on the square one, it's also going to be the same thing. And that's that beauty of that pin trick that we actually didn't know, is when you put that pin in, that you're just stitching to the pin. And you don't have to do any measuring then, as long as you've lined it up at that 45 for the straight one.
Or from the center out for an odd angle.
For an odd shape. Yeah. So excellent question.
Yeah. Sorry we weren't able to sorry I didn't understand your question right at first, Michelle, but thank you for restating it, which helps us a lot. Now I'm going to get out of your way and you can go talk about those other things.
Yes, I'm going to talk about these cute zippered bags that we have over here. So there are a ton of cute little zipper bags here. So they're fun little pouches. I don't know about you, but I love little pouches. I always feel like I have tons of different things to put in them. So these are a really cute pattern. The pattern is called the Angler, and it says you're sure to get hooked because there's tons, like lots of different variations of this fun, simple. Once again, we make a gift, or it could be a fun way, like if you're going to give someone a gift card, make a little pouch to put the gift card in, so it's like a little bit more fun than just a gift card. But I know if you have teenagers in your life, that gift card seems to be like the thing for them, right? So this is a really cute pattern. We also have this cute little pattern holder, which is sort of great if you ever have, I don't know about you, but like my sewing area turns into big jumbled mess where I've got layers and layers of fabric and thread and just stuff, and sometimes where my pattern pieces are, I'm not really sure. You could use this little stand to hold the pieces or hold your pattern so it gives it some height and it doesn't get lost on your table. But let me show you some more of these little pouches. Like this is a really cute one. This one's vinyl, and this is actually, you probably can't see it, but it's actually Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse vinyl here. Okay, and then this one is, oh my gosh, the creativity that Anne has here. Can you guys see the eyeballs? They're little eyes, and it's like a little mouth. Oh no, I just took an eyeball off. Okay, I'm gonna glue it back on.
That's a little vicious. You're tearing his eyeball off.
I'm not trying to tear his eyeballs off. But his mouth here is the pouch. Like there's crayons got put in here, but I love the creativity. One of my favorite things actually about our Sew Fun program when you come to our in-store location is that all of our customers show their show and tell, and we love to see what people are creating. And it's things like this when someone takes a pattern and then adds that extra creativity that's just so inspiring and fun to see.
And tell them about the teeth, because I don't think they can see on the camera what the teeth are.
You guys, this is a zipper. This is an open zip, so there's the regular zipper that's working, right? But this is the teeth of a zipper here. That is the little mouth of the frog. I think it's a frog.
It looks
Someone else thought it looked like a monster. I don't know. Whatever you want to make of it, I think it's super cute.
It's really cute.
And then, so there's other different ones here, but what's sort of cool about these is there's a really fun technique in the zipper that I'm going to have Reva tell you a bit more about, because this is one zipper that is turned all the way here on this edge. So this is a really fun technique that's a little bit different for how you put the zipper in. So do you want to tell us how that works?
So the pattern is really awesome because it gives you two different types of bags to make. So one is how this one is bound on the outside. I'll let the camera come in a little bit. I'll wait there for it. Okay, so see how this one is bound? Okay, so this one is not bound, it is turned. So this one has the seam inside and it's turned. And when you turn something, I'm gonna get back to the zipper, but when you're turning something right side out like this, a lot of us have used things like our scissors and things like that to turn the points out. You know, I highly recommend you not do that because I've ruined so many projects that way. And that's why I love this. This is the Perfect Turning tool from OESD, and it has a little tiny ball and a big ball. So depending on the size that you're turning, you can just slip that into the corner and you can poke it out, and it doesn't go through. This is also really good if you're doing something like a doll arm or something and you need to get in there and stuff it. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this, how this is done. So you can see it's one continuous piece of zipper. So for every pouch you cut out and every zipper that you cut to the right length, you have enough supplies for two of the pouches. So you're going to get a lot done. You can make a lot of these in a very short amount of time. And so I just want to kind of show you what that looks like. This is not the pattern piece. This is just a rectangle, but I just wanted to show you that a little bit. See how it's just one piece of a zipper that goes around, and that again is just a rectangular one. But come back. We have lots of how-to-whys. You can go back and watch them. And a how-to DIY we do on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And this was actually a topic on a Tuesday. So you can go back and see how that zipper is put in. But it's just really, really fun and easy to make. And then just one thing that I wanted to show you real quick is we also have this really neat product, and this is called Fuse and Seal. And we have lots of fun things coming up for the holidays, right? There's things that you want to do. And this is a fusible that is a heavy duty fusible. So if you want to decorate a pair of tennis shoes, if you want to put a patch or something on a ball cap, this is heavy duty enough to do that. Excuse me, so sorry. Okay, so how this works is you're going to take and you put it on the back of your fabric, and then this is a fun little fabric that Gail fused the Fuse and Seal onto, and then she used the scan and cut to just cut out the little pumpkin pieces, which is really fun. And then you can take them and you can iron them onto anything. You do not need to sew them onto the project. So if you want to put something on a metal watering can, a pair of tennis shoes, a pair of boots, this is a wood frame. You can do that because the Fuse and Seal will fuse to whatever it is that you want to do. Think about the fun that you could have to make great gifts with a child's artwork, and you can glue it on or fuse it onto something and give it as a lovely gift, and it fuses really nice. So this is fused onto a piece of paper. So that's really cool. So now I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next item, which is this is called the trees on parade, and isn't this beautiful? So this is a set of just triangles, and they're made with a strip set. Now there's a pattern over there, and I want the pattern pieces. So what this is done when you make these trees, you can see that you have an upside down tree, a right side up, upside, wrong way, right side up, upside down, right side up, upside down. And you have a variation of light and dark fabrics. So dark, 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 light, light. And so the pattern pieces, just hold the fabric there. So the pattern pieces are really cool because they're printed light and dark. So you know, oh, hold on. There we go. They're printed on the light and the dark. The pattern pieces are light and dark. And that is this pattern right here. And it has all the instructions to make just this beautiful pattern, right? Isn't that pretty? And you can make it, put many together. You can make a quilt if you want to, or you can make a table runner. And it's just absolutely beautiful with the different colors and different things. It's absolutely beautiful. And so you want to show that, how that goes together?
Yeah, that there. And then this side over here. There's a few different ways that you can put this together. And what Gail, this is Gail's, and what she wanted to do is she sewed her strips together, and then she put them right sides together like so. And you can see how the edges are kind of, she's got her little dog ears and it's kind of rough along the edges. And then you want to put that over the top, just like that. She placed the pattern piece over the top and then trimmed off the scraggly edges.
Yeah, so you get the perfect piece. So you don't have to worry about maintaining a perfect shape while you're stitching them.
Absolutely. She liked to, she's ironed one side this way and one side down that way. And that way you can nest those seams together so you get that perfect matching of your lines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love it. So easy. And I don't know about you, Reva, but I do a lot of my projects at nighttime when nobody else is awake.
Right.
None of my 5 kids or anything. And so having the dark and the light
Makes it easy, right?
so easy. Like, okay, that one needs to be dark and that one needs to be light.
Yeah,
So
I got a confession. I like to sew while your kids are asleep too.
Yes. So much easier.
Yeah, but and this goes together really, really quickly, and it is a great scrap buster.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's what Gail did with hers. She had just a scrap left. Like, this is a scrap. This is actually a little bit, her binding is slightly bit thinner than the actual pattern, but she used scraps on the back here.
Yeah,
and
isn't that fun?
She was able to use up the rest of the scraps here too.
Yeah, it's a great way to create something beautiful,
Absolutely.
even out of something that other people might have thrown away, which is really, really lovely.
Right, right.
Okay.
We have one more thing that
Yes.
we need to talk about. It's on that down
Yes,
there.
down at the bottom of this.
That back up here.
Down at the bottom.
Yes, and then we're gonna have some great times together.
I'm going to hand it to you so you can talk.
Oh, this is so awesome. We saw this and we had to bring it in. It's a metal sign. It's got 2 little holes on the edge, and you can put it anywhere in your office or above the door. It's nice and skinny, because I know I don't have very much room in my sewing room because it's full of things, but this is like perfect size. It says, "A lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash." So just a little humor for,
That's great.
for inside your sewing area in your studio.
And that would make a great holiday gift for a friend who's a stitcher, right? Who loves to sew.
Absolutely. It's lightweight, just super fun.
You could put it on your door.
Oh,
That's because, if everything else is being used in your room.
absolutely. That was a great idea. Okay. Are you so excited?
I am so excited. I know what's coming.
You know what's
I
coming
do,
next?
and I'm excited. Yes.
Everybody knows what's coming next.
Yes.
Okay, now it's time for prizes. We are going to announce our Pasco winners first. Yes, Pasco, we have been working behind the scenes, and we have 2 winners for you. I'm going to read out your numbers. I'm going to read it 2 times, and then the prizes are actually at your store. I already sent them there, and so Ruth or Bridget are going to send those over to you. All right. The first winner, are you ready for this?
Yeah, and what are the rules? What are the rules around winning prizes of quality sewing?
You what? The Reva's rules of door prize?
We do
Okay, we should do that. So Pasco, here's your rules. Here's the thing. You have to get excited.
Yeah.
Because I like to sew too. And there is something called the mail system that can send me back the prize. Because if you don't hoop and holler, then I'm going to keep the prize, right? So as we read your numbers, because you have door prize tickets, as we read your numbers, you got to go, woo, yay. And then if you win, you better let them know all the way over in Richland that you won.
That's right.
Right? Okay.
Ruth is going to let us know. Okay, first number, 5, 4, 7,
Yay!
9,
Yay!
0, 0. So congratulations.
Congratulations, winner.
Yes. Okay, you ready for prize number 2? Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
5,
Yay!
4,
Okay.
7,
Yay!
9, 1, and 1. Actually was 911. So that was an emergency prize.
And the prizes are there, and I'm sure they're amazing, whatever they are.
They are already
Fun
there.
stuff. And if you come to our local sessions at any of the store locations in person, we give away prizes during the presentations. So that happens in our in-store presentations as well. It's another fun reason to come to the in-store presentations.
Absolutely. So those were just for Pasco. And now we're going to do our virtual watchers who have been watching us either on Facebook or YouTube. So our first winner is from Facebook. And this is, your first name is Betsy, and I am so sorry. How do you say that?
Niswonger from Kansas City.
Congratulations, Betsy.
Missouri. Okay, so Betsy, what you want to do,
And what is Betsy winning?
oh, you're winning this really cool pattern. It is called Nosegay. It's beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it. It is really awesome. You're going to love this quilt pattern right here. Beautiful, bright, fun colors. Okay, I'm going to send that to you. But what I need you to do, down at the bottom there, you can see Andrea at qualitysewing.com. Please shoot me your mailing address and your phone number so I can make sure that it all gets down to you. Yay, Betsy! Okay. Our next winner is from YouTube. And also, I hope I say your name correctly. It is a beautiful name. And so I hope I don't. I hope I
You
say
got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Glynis Wetzel.
Yay! I got it.
Yes, thank you for watching today. I'm going to be sending you this Americana quilt book.
Oh, those are pretty.
It's from Annie's Quilting, and it's full of some beautiful quilts on there. So, as well, if you could send me a message with your name watching. If you're a local, send me what store you are closest to. Like if you're from Puyallup or Olympia by a store, I'll send it to the store. You can pick it up there. Or if you're not local, shoot me your address and I will mail it too.
Yay, congratulations.
Yes,
to all the
wonderful, wonderful.
winners.
Yay!
Thank you everybody for watching today. Very fun. We have all of the things that we've talked about. They are on our website, so you can purchase them. They're on the website for a special price right now. And some of these items are not items that we normally stock. And so that means there is a limited amount of time that they are on the website. So how long will these ones be on the website?
They'll be on there till November 7th, next Thursday.
Okay, so till November 7th, they will for sure be on the website, so you can order them. If you live locally, you can order them for in-store pickup, or of course, we can always ship them anywhere in the U.S. as well. Lots of fun stuff. And then what I love about this is, like, if you love those binding tips, you can re-watch this later. You know, what do you call it when you really like something on YouTube? So you put it in your folder or you start it. Subscribe. There we go. Thank you. The words will get to me. Maybe I need more coffee, Pamela. So subscribe so you can find all this. And then, like we said before, we will be live next month. And normally this falls on a Thursday, but Thursday next month is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so
we're not going to be here, and you don't want to watch us on Thursday. So the virtual SoFun for November will be on Tuesday, November 26th at 4 p.m. Okay, so watch us then. It's going to be awesome. If you have questions or comments and you're not watching this live, still please post because we will get back to you. We will answer your questions. So happy Halloween, everybody. Have a great day. Anything that I'm missing, you two?
No, I think this is great. And for those of you who joined us in Pasco, thanks for coming into the store in person. And we look forward to bringing more SoFuns your direction and to everybody.
And just more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.